Hey guys, I've had several of y'all asking questions about this truck, so I figured easier ways just do a video and walk you around. I'll try and tell you everything I know about it. I'm sure I'm going to forget some things. If you have any questions, just ask. I've done so much to this truck over the years that I don't remember everything that I'm not going to remember everything that I've done to it as I'm talking you through it. Alrighty, start with underhood. It is dirty. I don't like washing engine bays. It gets water into places that it shouldn't be. So, alright. Now, it took Auto Trader almost a week, or just over a week actually, to get this listed. So it's got a little bit of dirt on it, but I'm going to walk you through it front to back. Only thing on the hood, there are a few, like 2 or 3 very, very small hail dings. You can see a couple of them over there. They're barely noticeable. Going through a couple of small rock chips in the windshield. Nothing bad, nothing on the driver's side at all, so I haven't bothered getting them fixed. Alright. Let's see, I replaced the headlamps a while back so you don't have any of the oxidized headlamps. Cooper tires, good tread on them. Still probably 75% or so. Replaced all 4 shocks with Bilsteins. It's got the Bilstein 5100 shocks all the way around. Okay, no dings or anything on the driver's side. There is an area, you can barely see it, right there, where the guy who owned this before me had a really heavy toolbox on it, and it wrinkled just a little bit right there. It's not bad at all. Okay. Alright. Out back, I do have it set up for a 5th wheel. It's got a Demco underbed mount system right there. You can put a regular 5th wheel hitch, a sliding 5th wheel hitch, or a gooseneck adapter into that. You just have to stick with the Demco hitches. Rhino lined, and it has the connection for the 5th wheel. As you can see, a 36-gallon auxiliary fuel cell. It's plumbed straight into the fuel system, so it gravity feeds as you drive. Pulling my trailer, I've got about a 500-mile range. Without the trailer, it's about 900 miles between fill-ups. Toolbox is still usable. It's probably getting near the end of its life. I think it'd be time to put a toolbox on it. I did build bed rails for it. I did some hauling of dirt bikes, and getting to the tie-down points under that fuel cell were really tough. So it's got a custom-made set of rails on it. You can see heavy metal, so you're not going to ding your frame rails. MBRP 4-inch turbo back exhaust. There's no catalytic converter on this. There is a muffler in it, so it does not sound like a teenager's straight pipe truck. I'll show you it running here in just a second. Okay. Very small ding here. Not bad, you can see. I mean, barely noticeable, but small ding. I have no idea what that's from. Truck has had a blowout, so this entire bed side was replaced. I was hauling my trailer back from San Antonio, had a right rear tire blowout, and it took out the whole bed rail with it, so you don't have any wrinkle on this side from that other toolbox. No body damage. This truck's never been in a crash. That's the closest thing it's ever had to any work done to it, was that blowout. Alrighty, let's go inside. You can see carpet's still in good shape. It's had the rubber floor mats in it for as long as, well, probably for its entire life. They were in there when I bought the truck. Leather's still in good shape. It's got power seats on both sides. Let the Insight boot up so you can see it. Alright, that is on edge inside. It's not a tuner. It's a gauge pump only. However, it does have the T gauge, but such things like lock. You can set, if you're familiar with the drive, you can set to different things and watch while you're still kind of cold. Alright, on the tuning, it's got P5. Alright, right there. Locking switch, DSO in position switch 1, 3, and is a lock. You can pull the leave it locked into a particular tune. 5, let's say somebody else is going to drive your truck, you don't want them being able to access the performance tune and rag on your step. You can set it to slower tune and pull it to I keep it in the to a less per gallon. Pull the key. Usually, rarely would I have miles in performance tune. Also use the toe tune. Have it up. The whole reason I tuned it is because the trucks didn't come in the factory with wood turbo brake. These trucks, however, them from have the variable the turbo hitch. They do has the capability of having a wheel brake. A trailer that I put to build about 12,000 turbo pounds, and every now and then goes down through like especially when we go to Colorado up in the rock going down. The trailer would trying to push me down Colorado's. Turbo brake makes be trying a downhill difference. If you try to use it, say it, man, it would edible a trailer. So you know how down to the point that I hardly ever have to keep the brakes slow down. All right, Hart, so let you hear the exhaust, and then I'll shut it off. All right, let's exhaust, shut it off. Like I said, I did not want. I'm sorry. Let's get away from that. Like I said, I did not want a loud teenager sounding straight pipe. It is a performance muffler from MBRP, so it's a straight through muffler, but like you can tell, it knocks the sound down a little bit, and when you get on it, it'll still roar, but for driving down the road, there's no drone or anything like that. Okay, let's see. What it's had mechanically. Normal maintenance plus any upgrades I could think of. These trucks have a issue. All of the Chevys up till the new 2017s, they use the high pressure fuel pump that's up in the engine to suck fuel all the way from the fuel tank. That's a bad thing for somebody who drives, because if you develop a little bit of an air leak in that system, the pump sucks air instead of fuel. So I put a Kennedy single lift pump on it. It's a low pressure pump. It's not designed for a performance application like you see people with the air dogs and fast pumps. All it's designed to do is keep the fuel system pressurized 2 to 4 psi, just enough to push fuel up to the high pressure fuel pump that's mounted on the engine. That was one issue that's a known issue on these LBZs. The other issue that's a known issue is the head gaskets. The factory used torque to yield head bolts, which weren't strong enough for these diesels. When I got this truck, I was hauling a camper down to the coast, down towards Port Aransas, and blew head gasket. Still under an extended warranty at that point, so took it in. Chevy did that job. Well, of course, Chevy doesn't do anything aftermarket. They use these stock torque to yield head bolts. Well, guess what? About 2 years later, I was at 156,000 miles. Blew another head gasket. This time, I fixed it. I'm an experienced mechanic, been working on trucks all my life. We pulled the cab off, did the head gaskets. And when I did that, I found that when the head gasket blew, probably the first time when it blew, it actually dished out the surface of the block. So, the entire engine came out, went down to the machine shop. New piston rings, new rod bearings, new mains. The rod bolts are also known to be kind of weak, so I replaced them with ARP rod bolts. And when I redid the heads, ARP head studs. This engine, if you're interested in tuning, this engine should be capable of about 600 horsepower in its stock, in its configuration right now. My hot tune, my performance tune is only 110 horse, so that puts, these things were rated at 360 horsepower from the factory. That puts me pushing about 470 out of the engine in that tune. Like I said, it was very rarely driven in that tune. So, let's see, Clifford alarm system, everything else that I listed in the ad. Clifford alarm system with remote start and turbo timer on it. Merchant Automotive. Oh, another issue these trucks had is they would wear through the back of the transfer case and cause a transfer case fluid leak. It's a known issue with those pumps. That's been fixed. Merchant Automotive sells a pump rub kit that puts inserts in around the pump so it won't wear through the case. When mine developed that leak, I also replaced the rear half of the transfer case. So that's completely fixed. You shouldn't ever have to worry about that. Let's see. That's all I can think of, y'all. Everything else is in the ad that I listed, and I'll go get this posted and email y'all out a link. Thanks, y'all.